The movie begins where we are shown a documentary film of America in 1970. There was fear and violence at peak at that time, and TV used to show shows covering such topics. We are introduced to one such show called Night Owls, which is hosted by Jack Delroy. The show brings guests from different genres like comedy, music, and does some game shows. The show was becoming quite popular among the audience, and Jack soon signed a 5-year deal. Jack wanted to become the #1 host on TV, and he married a TV actress named Madeline. Jack and Madeline were a loved couple and supported each other. Jack was also associated with a group called the Grove, an elite California camp for rich and powerful men. It was said that the members of the group used to do ceremonies and rituals to make and break careers of their members and others. Jack's show is getting nominated for all awards but winning none. Their ratings aren't matching the #1 show, The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Suddenly, 1976, Jack's wife Madeline contracts terminal lung cancer, despite being a non-smoker. An episode featuring Madeline telling her cancer story also doesn't boost ratings to match Carson's show. After his wife dies, Jack leaves the show and disappears from the limelight. Suddenly, after a month, the channel announces his return to the show. To increase their ratings, they try new controversial themes and call such people, but nothing works. The rest of the film comprises salvaged footage from the episode along with behind the scenes are shown. Special guests for the show's episode include psychic Christou, magician Carmichael Haig, parapsychologist author June's subject Lily, and musician Cleo. The show starts and Jack is introduced by his friend and presenter Gus. Jack reads some news and cracks some jokes on them and thanks his audience for their support. He tells everyone to watch tonight's special episode as introduces his first guest Christou. Christou is a psychic who can talk to dead people and help them connect with their loved ones. He starts his act and tries to talk with one audience member about his wife. His readings are proved to be inaccurate, and the audience member also makes fun of him. He tries for second time and talks with two ladies about a young boy named Edmund. Christou is able to accurately tell how Edmund died and even guesses his favorite toy. The audience and Jack are impressed by his skills and they clap in awe of his performance. Suddenly, he experiences another reading about someone named Minnie who has a connection with a person wearing a ring. The lights flicker and the spirit goes away and Jack calls for a break. During the break, we can see that Christou is hurt badly and his nose is bleeding. The show's producer Leo comes and informs Jack that he is happy with the ratings they are getting. Leo also tells Jack that the first audience members was their own man and asks Jack to continue the show. Leo also informs Jack that the channel marketing head has come to watch the show and tonight could decide his future. The show begins again and Jack introduces his next guest Haig, who is a magician himself. Jack tells everyone that Haig is famous for his group hypnosis act and has recently started a new group. This group searches for paranormal activities and Haig investigates them and finds all fake people. He says he wants to expose all people who says they can talk to the dead or have psychic abilities. He also says he will give a check of $100,000 to anyone who is real and proves him wrong. He says he is yet to find anyone and also calls Christou a fake. We see Christou cough badly and drink some water, and Jack asks Haig to prove himself. Haig says Christou failed in his first reading and was lucky to guess the second time and calls him a fake. Christou gets angry on Haig and throws water on him and says he wants to leave the show. Jack says the last reading about Minnie was meant for him since he called his wife by that name and also shows his ring. Haig does not believe him and even offers more money to Christou to show his act again and prove him wrong. Christou argues with Haig, but suddenly becomes sick and vomits a black liquid on Haig and camera. Jack calls for a break and Christou is rushed to a hospital by the crew. Haig says maybe Jack told him his wife's nickname to up his ratings, but Jack denies the same. Leo informs Jack that the ratings are going up and he should introduce his next guest. The show begins and Haig says that the vomit is part of Christou's act and he is perfectly fine. Jack introduces his next guest June, who has written a new book called Conversations with the Devil. Jack shows his audience a video made by June which shows a satanic church that worshipped a demon named Abraxas. The church used to sacrifice young children, and one day a fire broke out there. Everyone was killed in the church except a young girl named Lily who is saved. Lily's behavior was not normal, and the police contacted June to look into her case. During her talks with Lily, June has able to connect with her and write her new book based on her talks. June and Lily are introduced to the audience, and we see that Lily is behaving quite strangely. Lily tells Jack that June is attracted towards him and says she is sorry about his wife passing away. Lily says that Jack is going to famous very soon and keeps on looking at camera very strangely. Jack takes a break and June informs him that they should not go ahead in the show with Lily. She feels that Lily is becoming unpredictable and more excited than ever to meet Jack and be on the show. Jack convinces her to stay a bit longer as it could help her book sale. Leo comes and informs Jack that Christou dies on his way to the hospital due to excessive bleeding. Jack is shocked to hear this and felt his vomiting was part of his act. Jack tells Leo not to tell anyone about this, especially Gus. Haig talks to the two audience members and comes to know they were asked some personal questions before coming on the show. The show resumes again and Jack tells everyone that June is a parapsychologist who studies paranormal activities. June says she studies people who are under demonic possession and Lily is one of them. Jack shows the audience members the stuff June recovered from the church. Haig tries to joke with a knife and calls all the stuff as fake and nonsense. Lily says that she calls the demon Mr. Wriggles and is able to control him with the help of June. Suddenly, everyone hears a loud noise which breaks all the glasses on the table. Haig says it was some static noise due to mic disturbance, but Lily says it was Wriggles who did it. Jack asks Lily to invite Wriggles on the show, but June refuses to do so, since it could be dangerous. Jack manages to convince June to perform a conjuring with Lily for a small time. Jack announces a break and Gus comes to talk with Jack. Gus says he knows about Christou being dead and begs Jack not to proceed ahead with the show. Gus says that many strange things have happened already and many crew members are afraid. Jack says this episode will save the show and everyone's jobs, so he must continue. The show resumes and we see the Lily is tied to a chair with handcuffs, and June asks everyone to be calm. June begins her session and Lily becomes possessed by Wriggles. Her face and voice changes. Lily says it's good to meet Jack again after their meeting under the tall trees. Jack says he is meeting Lily for the first time and is surprised to see Lily like this. Lily says that June and Jack are sleeping together, and this makes June angry and slap her. June tries to control Lily, but Lily starts laughing and causes the electricity to go haywire and levitates in her chair. Everyone is shocked to see this and Haig says that June has used tricks to fool the audience. During the break, Jack tells June they need to become a regular on the show, but June says no. Gus informs Haig about Christou's death, who is shocked to hear about it. Leo informs Jack that the episode has crossed all ratings and is #1 and Jack is very happy to hear this. The show resumes after break and Jack asks Lily if she is okay. Lily says she is fine and felt like she was asleep during the entire process. Haig interrupts and says that the entire act of Lily was done under hypnosis and he can prove her wrong. Haig says he will show a small act and asks Gus to be his volunteer. They both sit on their chairs and the lights dim in the studio. Haig brings his hypnotism act and asks everyone to stare in his watch and relax. Haig asks Gus about his fear of worms and Gus feels some worm coming out of his neck. Suddenly worms start coming out of Gus's stomach and eyes, and everyone in studio is scared. Haig chants something and ends his act, and we see that Gus is fine and healthy. Jack and everyone are surprised to see this and Haig says he just performed a mass hypnosis like June. Jack asks the studio to rewind the tape and see what actually happened. When they see the tape, it proves that Haig's demonstration was merely a hallucination experienced by everyone in the studio. Jack and others decide to watch Lily's part of the tape also to see what happened. When they play the tape, all things remain same as what we saw and Lily looks possessed and real. Jack asks to rewind the tape and is horrified when he notices in spirit of Madeline standing behind him in the footage. Haig angrily accuses Jack of orchestrating the events as an elaborate hoax. Suddenly Lily starts to shake and June calls for help and Lily becomes possessed again. Lily stands up and a bolt of lightning from above connects to her left hand and lighting from monitor connects to her right. Her head splits open down the middle and begins to glow. Lily uses telekinesis and starts killing them one by one. She twists Gus' head around, hangs June and cuts her neck and burns Haig's body. The audience flees from the studio and Leo pulls Jack toward the exit. Jack is suddenly transported to a nightmarish version of the show, and he experiences the same moments from the past. Next we see that at the time of signing the contract for his show, the Grove was involved in this. Jack had performed a ceremony to the demon possessing Lily at the Grove. It is also revealed that Jack was responsible for Madeline contracting cancer, the price for Night Owl's sudden fame. Madeline's spirit confronts Jack and she begs him to put her out of her misery as the cancer is causing too much pain. He initially refuses, but wants to help his sick wife and says he didn't know this was the price he had to pay. Using the sacrificial knife from Lily's old cult, he stabs it into Madeline's body. Suddenly, the scene shifts to the now empty studio, with a horrified Jack revealed to have stabbed Lily. Jack stands over the bodies of his dead guests and is in disbelief and shock as police sirens slowly get louder in the distance.